Another one. What up, guys? I'm in my, I was just outside taking care of, our farm animals. I haven't adjusted to being back in yet. It's freaking cold out there. It's like 42 Fahrenheit. We got no in between. It's supposed to be fall time. We're supposed to go from, like, summertime to, like, mid-temps. Like, I don't know, 50s? 60s? No. 100 degrees to 40 degrees overnight. I've had it. Had it with the weather. I've had it with a lot of things. We're playing Throne and Liberty because Pearl Abyss refuses to wake up. Wake up! I'm tired of it. You know, I've hung on to BDO for months making content, just to make content. The game hasn't been enjoyable for me for a while. This isn't by any means a quitting video, but I log in, I set up fishing, I minimize to tray, and I don't touch it for 24 hours. Unless I need to reset my farms, or I need to reset my fishing pole durability, which doesn't usually happen. My fishing is high enough that, and my fishing pole is maxed out over there, so I can leave it for about 24 hours, you know, at least 12 before it gets to where it's a problem. So, you know, we're fishing. It's minimized to tray, and now I've got Throne and Liberty up. Now I want to talk about it. Throne and Liberty life skills are shallow compared to Black Desert life skills. There's only 3 of them. There's cooking, there's fishing, and there's the amatory expeditions. You send your amatory to one of the areas that you've unlocked, and they unlock when you gain expedition levels. And it's RNG. You send a couple of your little... They're like the fairy in Black Desert. They instantly restore your health if you have world leaves. But you send your ones... You can summon one of them, and then the rest of them kind of sit in a little amatory house, and you send them out on an expedition. The important thing of sending them out on expedition are these pouches and salt. I guess abyssal contract tokens too, but it's mostly salt. Cooking relies, pretty much every recipe relies on salt. And there's 2 very important recipes that I have right now. And that's Castler Salad. It gives you XP bonus 50%. For 15 minutes, and then 30 minutes and 60 minutes depending on the level that you get. The other one is bird egg custard, and now there's some later ones to unlock on down there that give you some different benefits, like 30% and 30% all in one food, or 50 and 10 and 50 and 10 for like mastery bonus and that kind of crap. But for now, for me, it's Castler Salad and bird egg custard, because Solent is basically like silver in Black Desert, and there's never enough of it. You use it for everything, except for player trading. Player trading is lucent. So you need it. It's 50% bonus for doing that. Well, you got to make these recipes. You don't need cooking utensils or anything. You just got to get the stuff and then do it. You don't AFK cook. I mean, you can, I guess, but you can't set it up like on Black Desert. So you need a ton of salt, which I found a way of getting salt, but you got to spend your battle pass points for that, and I may not recommend doing that. Vegetable oil is an NPC thing, and then you get these herbs and stuff just by gathering herbs out in the world. Milk is an NPC thing. Again, you need salt, and then you need some form of eggs. You can kill monsters to get these 3, and then the other one you can buy 10 a day from the NPC. So you can make a couple of these a day. From not really doing much of anything, which is cool. And there's a chance of having great success proc, and if it does, then it crafts a tradable version of the item, and you can sell it on the auction house. Obviously I can't, because I'm not level 40 yet. So there's your life skills. So you got fishing, you got cooking, and you got the expedition. Fishing, basically you're looking at feeding, cooking with the different my character looks ridiculous with this stupid ass hood on. I need better gear, but for now we're just running with what we find until I get to endgame. Yeah, fishing is fish for cooking. Several recipes take it, and then you're looking for the sacks. It's basically like Black Desert relic shards, kind of. The sacks give you materials, and the materials you're looking for is like different stones and stuff, and the jade. The fishing game you can't set up AFK, but I got a couple of bait left. I'll show it off. But it's not too bad. The fishing mini game is not too bad. You cast your little line out, and you have a chance to bring out the fishing pole with Control F, cast it out, fix camera settings so that it doesn't move. So you want to focus on where this is whenever you hook a fish, and you have to keep it as close to that spot as you can by reeling it left and right. Oh, I missed it with the extra proc, but see, you kind of go left and right to kind of keep it in the middle. If it gets too far, it'll turn red, and if it gets way too far, see, turn red. If it gets too far, you'll lose the fish. But that's the gist of it. Left and right, there's not much. When it first pops up, you can hit Q to get kind of a boost to catching it, and you keep going until the fish runs out of health, which is the second little bar that pops up. Nothing too complicated. It's just something you can't really do AFK. And it's RNG based on whether or not you get the sacks. So you get small sack, big sack, and then there's like an extra big one. I forget what it's called. I've gotten several small ones and several big ones. The things you look for out of them are the jade, because the jade allows you to craft a better fishing pole, and oops, I hit the wrong key. My bad. That's what happens whenever I'm recording. Oh no, we're red. We're gonna lose this fish. Yep. See what happens. Sometimes it's just RNG, whether or not that happens. I'm out of bait, so you can go and buy bait from the coin, from the contract coin guy once a day, or you can go farm bait from different monsters. You can get like worms and shrimp bait and that kind of stuff, or you can go into the shop and spend the ornate coins that you get. These ornate coins are like login rewards, basically. You get them from some of them from logging in, and you also get some from just exploring the world, the codex. But you can spend 15 of them and get a bait chest, and you get 50 bait. And you gotta have bait to fish, and every time you cast, it takes one. I bought these pouches too, and I ended up getting a shirt. Shirt doesn't look like it's too useful for me. I'm a mage, and that's what I'm going to talk about. The comparison between Black Desert and Throne of Liberty. I wanted to go over the life skills. And then just content in general. So I was getting a little unhappy with my character build. And I've been seeing a lot of stuff on like meta builds and the best builds for this. Well, I don't really give a crap what the best build is. I'm having fun doing Staff Greatsword, and that's what I'm going to play. They synergize. People say they don't. I've seen videos on it saying they don't, but they do. Basically, Greatsword gives you a chance to weaken, and then it scales off of like binded or stunned. Binded or stunned monsters or characters. And the staff can do that with the ice skills, and the skill specs in the ice will turn the slows into binds, and so it kind of amplifies it. It makes you a tankier mage because you have a boatload of HP if you spec into it, because Greatsword is like a secondary tank weapon. It's not really a main tank weapon like the sword and shield, but it does allow you to get pretty tanky compared to like this here. When you take damage, you get a 25% chance to increase your defenses by 140, and then as you level that skill up, it scales up, which is pretty dang good for just combating the fact that mages are squishy to begin with. Now, the skill specializations that I've been playing with are these here, if you're curious. I'm basically doing a fire, I called it fire zaps, so it's basically you stack burns and then you zap things with lightning. Because the lightning scales off of burn. The more burn stacks you get percent increase in damage for the lightning skill. I spec'd into this so I don't have to use frost skills for the chain lightning. The chain lightning only does chain and bounce to other enemies if they are wet or frosted. But if you spec into this, it can bounce regardless of the status. It just does it anyway. And then you can also spec into it to not have its damage mitigated when it transfers. I think that's cool. It becomes more of a nuking burst mage. These focus fire bombs also here, it makes this, normally it's serial fire bombs. It shoots out 3 projectiles. You can do it 3 times. It resets itself. And then you can do instant cast with that. But if you focus fire bombs instead, it becomes a nuke skill where you hold it down, it'll charge, and when you release, it can do a massive amount. I like this better. It feels more like a mage than the other one. The other one didn't feel good. I'm still struggling with cooldowns. I need more spec points, which means I just need to level. And later on, the build will probably change. At 36, I'll have Judgment Lightning. And then later on, Infernal Meteor and Salvation Chain. And what I'm seeing now is that I've currently spec'd most of my gear into like health and stuff, and I'm going strength for the heavy attack. Well, mages rely, or the staff relies on heavy attack, so I thought that was good, but I'm thinking maybe I should go into wisdom instead. Dexterity increases your critical hit chance, so that's why I have 30 of that. But most people are speccing into wisdom or perception for like a mage type build. Maybe I should do my stat points. I haven't really decided yet, because I have a passive skill. If I stand still, it's called asceticism. If I stand still and don't move, I get heavy attack chances going up by 100. Also, if I use the greatsword skill and hit somebody with it, I also get I need to stop saying also. I'm annoying myself. I get 90 increase heavy attack chances by 90 for 3 seconds. So they synergize well with the heavy attack. I don't know if I really need to spec into strength, but the strength gives me a lot of health. But then again, the mana is another thing. Maybe for PvE, I strengthen to spec. I spec into strength and take different skills. It frees up a slot. But in PvP, I'm probably going to go mana build. And I'm probably going to build my gear into mana build. Because one of the skill specializations on Salvation Chain is it becomes a mana shield, which is what I was asking for in BDO all along. Give me a mana barrier, or let me build a full mana mage and just tank with my mana shield. It's how mages are supposed to work. Even for like lore purposes, they are mana creatures. Like they're masters of their mana and magical properties. Give us the mana shield. So I'm happy with this. But speaking about all this, that's just kind of my theory crafting thoughts on just builds. My initial reaction to this is, yes, this is a new release game. Yes, it's still in the honeymoon phase. Yes, I'm having a lot of fun playing it. My wife's having fun, which, happy wife, happy life for you guys that are married, for you dudes that are married. So I'm having fun with the game. But all this is leading me into saying that the build diversity and theory crafting is why I play RPGs. Black Desert has none of that. You pretty much go one build, and that's full AP Deberekas. And I'm tired of that crap. I can't even build my mage differently. Everybody uses the same skills. The wizard on Black Desert, you can choose one of 2 for the skills, and really there is no option, because the other options that I don't pick on there are pretty crappy. But on this game, on Throne of Liberty, I can build one way for PvE and run dungeons, and then build another way for PvP, which I'm telling you right now, my PvP build is going to consist of relying around mana shield and mana protections, and the great sword is going to be a secondary, basically covering the staff's weaknesses if people get up close. And most of these great sword skills you can spec into and turn them into like AoEs, or like this can be a charge. and it offers a bunch of crowd control, but you can like turn some of your skills into ice tornadoes, so it's going to be ice skills that synergize with your staff ice skills, and your staff is going to turn these ice skills that you can spec into binds, and the binds are going to feed into the great sword damages. So like let's see, this one here, damage increases by 30% against bound targets or stun targets or sleeping or shock targets. So a great sword stuns, staff can bind. You're going to get 30, you're going to burst people like crazy, and you're going to be tanky because you're going to have a mana shield, you're going to spec into mana, you're going to do ice. Like, it's the perfect mage build, and that's what I've been asking for in a game for a long time since Forsaken World closed down. But my whole thing about this is I'm having fun with this game, and it is shallow in a lot of ways. The life skills are shallow, like they're very simple, but that's not a bad thing. I don't want to leave the game up 24/7. I'll log in, set my amatory expedition. It takes an hour or 2 hours or 4 hours or 8 hours, whatever you select. 1 hour is usually more profitable, but you have to manage it more. And I'll show that menu off while I'm talking. But the theory crafting is why I play games. The role-playing aspect, so like you just choose a little thing, you select a couple of dudes, and then hit begin expedition. You can choose 1, 2, 4, 8 hours, and you can get random rewards in there. And then you come back after the timer is up, which is a little timer up here in the top right. It shows you how much time you got left, and that's it. It's pretty simple. So that's one life skill. It just gives you a little bit of resources. The cooking, you set it, it crafts what you need, you move on. Fishing, yeah, I showed that off. So the life skills are pretty shallow compared to BDO, and that's okay because games get to a point where they're too damn complicated. And the barrier of entry is just, it's just too high. It's too hard. And we play games to relax, to have fun, and when it becomes a complicated second job, it's not fun anymore. But I've been, I said it earlier in the video, I've been pushing through the annoyances in BDO for content for months, and it shows. The content's suffered. And I'm tired of that. So I'm playing what's fun, and for right now, this is fun for me. Now, it does remind me of Terra a lot, and that's not a bad thing either. I loved that game before it closed down. It had its problems, and we'll see if NCSoft learned from that company's mistakes, and see if they do things correctly. I haven't got to experience the auction house yet, but the fact that I can farm real currency and buy stuff without ever having to pay anything. Yes, the game is pay to win in terms of gear aspect, but it's also very casual friendly if you play it that way. It's all how you choose to play. So it's kind of a perspective thing. If you go in looking at it like, oh, I have to be top of the top, yeah, it's pay to win. You're gonna suffer. If you go in looking at it like I'm playing it as a game that has group content. I'm going through the story. I'm enjoying that, and the combat is okay. I like tab target, so it's pretty decent for me, and it feels okay. It's better than what Lost Ark was. I don't like isometric view. I like the 3D view. I think it's nice. It's obvious that it's a new game out. There's stuff missing. Like the blue lithographs, which are like the weapon recipes, they're not in. You can't buy them. The only way to get them is to break down blue weapons, which you probably don't want to do. What's the point of breaking it down if you already have the weapon? So there's that. You know, there's a couple of things that are kind of an issue, but everything has its issues. You either let it bother you or you don't. But the whole reason that we play games is to have fun, and like I said, I'm having fun. I don't I'll let you in on a little secret inside my head here. I got up this morning at 4 a.m. Started the coffee. I sat down in here at the PC, waiting for the wife to get up. Allergies, my throat's itching really bad, so it's a bad time of year for me. sat in here and opened up YouTube, tried to watch some videos, and tried to see, put on my headphones and heard, oh, there's music. Why the hell did Pearl Abyss change maintenance to Tuesday? It was always Wednesday, and then they changed it to Thursday, and now it's suddenly Tuesday. They're panicking. So I'm like, okay, cool, let's look up. Oh, can't go to patch notes. The website's down for another hour or so. Okay, cool. Open up YouTube. I see Blue Squadron doing a video on the patch notes. Kind of skim through that, and it's like, okay, cool. They're adding stuff that we can't even do yet. They're adding other things in. I did watch the dev commentary on stuff they're adding in, and my first initial reaction to that is, cool. You're addressing Deberekas with more things that require more cron stones. You greedy mother. Yeah, and it's not motivating to log in. But when I pull up YouTube and the only content I see from the people that I used to watch before I started doing content myself, it's just more doom and gloom. I can't even sit through one of those videos anymore. It gives me anxiety. Which maybe that's like a sign of weak mental. I don't know. I tried to self-reflect, but when a game starts giving you anxiety, and it's not even the game, it's just, I don't even want to log in anymore because of all the doom posting. It's like, yeah, I get it. The game is screwed. You know, like, they've made bad decisions in developing it. You stick around and wait for them to change it. Things change over time. You wait for them to fix it. You don't just sit here and just, like, the horse died. You don't keep shooting it. You don't keep kicking it. They go, okay, and it's not completely dead yet. It's just sick. So what are you gonna do? You either put it down or you wait. You wait for it to get better. You know, we wait for Pearl Abyss to turn it around, and they're trying, but the damage is done, man. And the doom posting is so detrimental. And like I said, it's like one of those things where it's more trouble than it's worth. I just want to sweep it under the rug, wash my hands, and say, I'm done. I don't want to see any more of this doom posting. I don't want to feel anxious anymore. If I log in and set up my fishing, I want to be able to just do that and play and not have to have this looming freaking glooming cloud over here behind me, like, oh, it's about to rain, you know, it's about to storm. Kind of feels that way. And there's no group content, there's no dungeons to really run. Like, we tried Ataraxian and it's too complicated. I don't know what happened to RPG players where they decided they needed to be the most min-maxed efficient. Like, people played the game to have fun. Stop meta chasing. And that's what's going to happen in Throne of Liberty if we're not careful. You're going to have a handful of weapon combinations and meta chasers, and the rest are going to get pushed out. And when that happens, I'll quit, because I'm playing Staff Greatsword and it is not a meta choice. It's okay, and there's a lot of weapons and combinations that are okay, but there's also about, get down, kitty, don't hit the mic. There's also, like, Sword and Shield and Greatsword is pure tank. Longbow Wand is pure healer. Those two are definitely going to be always needed because they're tank and healer, and it's a Trinity style system where you have tank, healer, DPS. And then there's a handful of best DPS builds in the game. Those are always going to be welcome because they clear fast. Everything else is going to fall by the wayside if the players aren't careful. You know, metas are a bad thing. When did people get to where they're... I'm just not understanding what happened to the RPG scene. You know, we used to pick our characters and figure out the best that we could do for them, not just dump them when the new flavor of the month came out. And games didn't prey on fear of missing out so badly. My Amatoy just finished, so here, I'll show you. Claim and reward. Okay, so I got crappy rewards that time. Only got a couple of things. So I do Windhill Shores because I just pick a couple of them. I get a high chance of getting the salt 0 to 8. Click. Done. Wait another hour and then get rewards. It's kind of like the only AFK really activity. You get a little experience for the expedition skill every time you do that, or life skill or whatever. Slowly level it up. But I don't know when players became this thing of I gotta chase meta, I gotta be like top of the top. Maybe it starts content creators that cause this problem, because maybe it's just, yeah, maybe it's the content creators in general. But, you know, I always looked at this as, here's a platform for me to, like, share what I think is cool. Like, cool, I can make a few guides showing how I do stuff, but I don't always do things most min-max, most efficient, most meta way. I just don't. I think differently, and I have a different way of going about things, and I like to be different. It doesn't matter if it's the best way of doing something for me. It doesn't matter to me. I play the games to what's fun for me in games is figuring out weird and odd ways of doing the same things other people do, you know, or like breaking things. You know, it's why I made the series on Black Desert on silver making, like tax avoidance in that game. You know, it's like, that was fun for me. That's what I like to do. In this game, so far, it's having an off-meta build and figuring out a good way to make it synchronized. I love theory crafting, so cool. I can pick my character up and go a full damage build, full staff damage build, and have some porting passives from the greatsword tree. But in PvP, I can swap that. I can completely swap over to another build. You got 3 presets here that you can do it. And I've started working on my PvP build. It's going to be, like I said, full ice. I can go full tank, as tanky as the greatsword will let me be. Full CC with a little bit of burst in between. And, you know, I can change up my build and not feel stale. And I also don't have to meta chase. It helps that I'm married to somebody who likes to play full healer. And so dungeons are never going to be a problem for me because I have a pocket priest, basically. But, you know, I just go off tank and then find me a tank, and DPS are a dime a dozen, right? So I can either be off tank or DPS. So we're always going to have dungeons to run. I just make my own party and look for a tank. But, so I can do off meta stuff. But this mentality of gotta go fast as I can, you know, like those guys. And if that's your thing, cool. If that's the way you like to play, cool. But in this game it's F, but for you BDO players it's R. To R spam all the quests, and then within a day be max level, and then within a week have best gear farmed because you played 14 hours a day, and then set at the top looking down saying there's nothing to do in the game, is bullshit. The game, RPGs are not meant to be played that way. Go play a MOBA, go play a battle arena. Like, what the hell are you doing? You're running the genre. Development time can only happen so fast. Whenever a game is released and you expect it to be released with no bugs, okay, development time, bug testing, turnover time is quite a bit. You can't be a content locust and then complain at the company for not releasing stuff. It makes no sense, man. It's a conundrum is what it is, because us as players create our own problems and then bitch about the problems when we're the solution, and it's just a circle. Like, change your mentality, play a little differently. That's why I'm still only 33 a week in. Like, here's the main quest. You got 10 chapters. I'm about halfway through. My wife and I we're doing it together. Yes, there's a lot of solo instances, but we pretty much do the stuff together and move through the game together. That's fine. But we'll go to an area, like, and then we do the exploration quest in that area. The dimension circle or the dungeons. But you got Laslin has several places to go, and then Stoneguard has several places to go. I haven't really done Stoneguard yet. Haven't got there. Those are the two regions that are out in the game currently. But the explorations are like area quests, and the adventure is like your main quest. So your main quest adventure takes you to the areas, and then the exploration explores the areas, right? And there's just a little bit of things to do. You can kind of see, here's one of them at nesting grounds. You do a bit, you do like 3 or 4 or 5 things, and then you get a little bit of a reward for doing that. And I have yet to have any problems with level being gated by level by doing this. I have yet to run into anything to where I'm stuck. Like, and there's plenty of content. I haven't ran out of main story yet. I mean, eventually, yeah, I will. But that's how it goes, you know. MMORPGs, they'll release a story, and it kind of guides you through the content. And then you have side quests that branch out, and area quests that kind of guide you the rest of the way through each area. And then you have your raids and your dungeons and your new gear, and you work on that. And then in the downtime in between, you work on your life skills. And whenever all of that stuff runs out, you're also PvPing throughout, so you're probably geared up and you PvP. And then the next expansion comes out and it starts over. That's how RPGs are made. You're slowly building your character over time. Not within a day. You run through all the main quests, R spamming, F spamming, whatever. You don't know what's going on. You're like, oh, what did I miss? Well, maybe if you read. I don't know when reading became so uncool, but I don't know when this fucking video turned into a rant either. But, maybe I'm just not feeling it today. Maybe it's just, I don't know. Maybe it's the fact that I see Black Desert self-destructing, but at the same time, I see everyone just kicking it while it's down, and then maybe that upsets me to the point of just let it die. If it's gonna do it, it's gonna do it. Just enjoy the ride. It doesn't matter. Like stop causing your own problem. Like this content community creator space has become very toxic. And I didn't want to build that. I've anguished over it for the last couple of weeks, couple of months, maybe longer. Whenever Black Desert started dying, I built the whole channel around that. It wasn't ever supposed to be that way, but it kind of became that way. Black Desert had a pretty good following, and it seemed to be what everyone wanted to view. And I got caught up in view chasing too. You know, obviously I'm not ever gonna get millions of views off of a Black Desert video, but it was more than I was getting for other things. But that time is over. You know, I'm not a one-trick pony. Maybe in League of Legends I am. And maybe that's why I like League of Legends. I thought about this. It was the theory crafting, and I can take one champion and build it in multiple different ways. And maybe that's why it held my interest over the years. But I never even meant for this channel to be strictly gaming. You know, go look at my channel about section. Farmer, gamer, programmer, for a reason. It was supposed to be a platform for me to show off cool things in my life. I like games. I wanted to show them off. Hey look, here's how I do things differently than other people. If you find that interesting, cool, watch the video. If you like listening to my voice, cool, watch the video. If you don't, then that's fine. You're entitled to your opinion. But if you made it this far, you probably like watching the videos. Or maybe you just hate watch me. I don't know. I guess that's a thing. But I've a lot of bad sentences start with I feel like, but I feel like it's very easy to dogpile on bad takes when there's confirmation bias coming from the echo chamber you have planted yourself in. There's a lot of people that like the way BDO is currently, and if you're a new player, you probably do. You haven't ran its course, but veteran players are unhappy for the very reason I just described with what's going on in Throne and Liberty already. I saw it yesterday when I was on doing some stuff. People are saying dead game, there's no content. Well, that's because you need to get a life. Like, games are supposed to be supplementary. They're not supposed to be 14 to 16 to 17 hour a day jobs. And I saw a comment somewhere saying, the game has been out for 11 days. Let that sink in. Well, probably 12 now. It came out on the 26th. It's 5 days to the 1st. It released free to play on the 1st. It's now the 8th. That's 7 days plus 5. Yeah, it's 12 days. And this guy posted, and it was yesterday that it posted on another content creator's video, saying that they had over 170 hours in the game already. And it's like, you break that down. When you posted that, it was 10 days. It'd been out 10, 11 days. That's 17. If over the course of 10 days, that's 17 hours a day playing. What? Now, in a game like Black Desert, I understand having that many hours because you leave it up AFK most of the time. But 17 hours a day? Seriously? For 10 days straight? It's mental illness, man. It is. And it's probably a little bit less than 17 a day because it was 11 days out whenever I calculated it was 170. So, it comes out to a little less than that, like 14. Probably. 14, 15 hours a day, But that's mental illness. And then people that do that, and then they sit and say that there's no content. Well, yeah, there's no content. The game was never meant to be played for 24 hours a day for weeks on end. Like, what? What happened to gaming sessions on the weekend for like one day that lasted maybe 8 hours, and then the rest of the time you didn't play, or you played an hour here or an hour there? Every day, all day, 17 hours a day. No. And it's people like that, and I'm not picking on this person, it's their life, they can do what they want. But it's people like that have the loudest voice because they have nothing else to do but sit there and cry about things. If you're out doing stuff, you're out working in a job, you're not focused on this stuff so much. I'm exposed to it a little more because of being a content creator, right? I have a little bit more leeway, time to do more in this space than people that are full-time working for someone else. But I come and go as I please, so I have a little bit more time to rant about this. And I guess it may be hypocritical, me ranting about people that rant about stuff and spending too much time. It's not lost on me. I get it, but it has to be said. This video took a dark freaking turn that I didn't expect it to be, but it needed to be said, right? It does. I've had enough of this going on, and I've had enough of having my escape be trashed. Like I played games to get away from, and I'm not super special, but I've had a lot of bad things happen, and I use games to escape that. When you have a lot of health issues on one hand, and you've had a lot of bad circumstances on another, sometimes it's overwhelming, and that's okay. Life is supposed to be hard. The world doesn't owe you anything. You're not entitled to anything. No one gets out of life alive. We are all, think about this, words of wisdom, we're all slowly dying a little every day. Our life clock time is finite, and it's slowly ticking out. But I use games to escape thinking about that kind of stuff a little bit. You know, I like to go into a fantasy world where I can't do this stuff in the real world. So, you know, I want to be a mage sometimes. So I log in and play games. But to log in and then have severe feelings of anguish and anxiety just because of all the doom posting, I've had enough of it, man. I'm over it. I'm also over this channel too, like, as far as, and don't take that the wrong way. If you clicked off as soon as I said that, well, that's your problem, I guess. But I'm no longer gonna anguish over losing audience because of not posting BDO content. I'm still playing BDO in the background, and I'm still waiting for Pearl Abyss to rally, and I'm waiting for them to make a change that brings that makes BDO great again. Stupid. So stupid. It makes gives me motivation to want to actively sit there and give the game my time. You know, I was BDO skeptical, and I didn't play the game for a year. My wife got me into it. She said, "Oh, it's so good, it's so good," and it turned out to be good. But now we're back to that point of being skeptical, and I just want to feel the escape again. I don't want to feel the anxiety. I don't want to feel the anguish. I don't want to see the doom post. And I couldn't even get through the latest one, and I'm not bashing any other content creators, but I can't sit through those videos anymore, and that sucks because I liked watching the people that are now only doing that. And I liked watching the original content. I don't want to watch 3 reaction videos deep, you know, with 3 different webcams layered on top of a video, with a half-assed reaction, just to pull views for monetary reasons. That's why I don't do that. It's low-hanging fruit, and usually I'll click on those videos, see where the original content came from, and then go watch the original content if I want to see what's in the video. I'm not condoning react content. Asmongold coined that, but at this point they're basically gamer news channels, and regardless of who's in the webcam on the bottom left, I don't like watching the normal news. Why would I watch gamer news? It is what it is. So I want to end on a positive note. This game's fun. I'm having a great time theory crafting and working on builds and stuff, and it may fail. The game may tank. People may doom it into the ground. People may quit. It may be a flavor of the month. PvP, I may get my ass stomped. I probably will. My builds may fail, but it's okay to fail. It's also okay to have fun. Even if you're having fun doing things that most people don't consider cool or okay or mainstream, whatever you want to call it. It seems like the cool thing to do now is to shit post a game until it dies. I don't know where that trend came from, but it's almost like these newer generations are, it's cool to be unhappy, and people aren't happy unless they're unhappy. Let that sink in. But alright, I'm done. 44 minutes is enough for me. Thoughts that needed to be released, and don't expect me to quit, but also don't expect me to just stick to one game any longer. There may be real life content, there may be BDO content, there's gonna be Throne of Liberty content, there's gonna be Path of Exile content, because both of those I'm having fun with. There may be Guild Wars 2 content. I like that game. The combat is not for me, really, but I like the game. There may be League of Legends content, because I still enjoy that game, even though it frustrates the crap out of me. But for now, this is what I'm playing. If you want to... I'm not, like I said, I am not going to ruin the story for anyone else. I will not release general content of me running around doing the quests and stuff. I thought about streaming the whole thing, but, you know, I think you should pick it up and try it if you want to see the story and the quest and everything. I will make guides on what my build is. I'll do videos like this. Well, not quite like this where I'm just ranting, but I will do videos on different things like the skills, maybe how to get some items, and maybe small guides here and there. Maybe explaining stats. If there's something you don't understand or want to see, let me know. But I'm going full free to play. I have been in the shop and I have bought a couple of things because they were free things. How do I find... I guess there is no purchase history. I don't know. I leveled to a certain level and it gave me like a free celebratory pack or something. So I got that, and then I've been spending these ornate coins that are you earn in-game by like doing codex things. And so that's the only real things that I've spent in here. Like I said, I bought some fishing chests and I bought these precious blessing pouch things that are like monthly. So that's it's free to play, and I'm staying that way. And maybe I won't be top dog. Maybe I won't even be competitive. Maybe I'll just get maybe I'll get floor perspective and be a mop on the floor for them to mop the floor with. Oh well, I'm having fun, and if that's what happens, then that's what happens. And when it stops being fun, there's a nice little escape button on your keyboard and a nice little exit game thing that you click, and then you don't have to worry about it. Same with Black Desert, man. Set up the fishing, minimize the tray, making progress and not even touching it. But I'm not gonna doom post it. The state of the game is what it is. This one's fun for now, so that's what we're doing. Probably not the thing that you guys thought you'd see on Tuesday, but it's what's been with the state of how the world is going right now, and wanting to just kind of escape that, and now seeing that my favorite escapes are being trashed and drugged through the gutter. I've had enough. So we're gonna move forward. We're gonna be positive, and we're gonna have fun with what we have fun with. And if no one else cares, okay, you don't have to. That's your prerogative. That's why having freedom is so good. No one's gonna tie you to a chair, tape your eyes open, and make you watch my stuff. It might be good for me if we did that. I might get a lot of views, but we're not gonna do that. So I hope you guys have a good Tuesday. I'll see you in the next video. I don't know when it'll be. I'll shoot for Friday like I always do, but if I don't make it, then it's kind of a range. It depends. My wife's work schedule changes, and I try to record when she's not around, because when she is around, my time is her time. When she's around, she gets my time. She is the priority in my life, and all that really matters. So she'll probably watch this and smack me or something, but that's all that really matters. So you guys get the leftovers. When she's at work, I record, and then I do my work in between. So have a good one, and wherever you are in the world, I hope you're well. And if not, and you want to talk, I don't have a lot, but I got a lot of experience. I've been through a lot of crap. So leave me a comment. I'll give you advice. May not be good advice, but I'll give you advice. Not promising good. I don't want to be responsible for bad decisions. But all right, you guys have a good one. As always, until next time.